pretty good so far.
If we survive about 8 more days, we're done.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you for this evening, for all that are here and all that live in our city. We ask that we be mindful of everyone and that we make the right decisions here tonight. And we ask that you be with us throughout this holiday Christmas season. All these things we pray in your name.
I'd like to welcome guests and visitors here tonight. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes which are in your package. There's one item I think may need a little more explanation. In the minutes it shows item number 3, guests and visitors, proclamation in appreciation of Pete Miller. I'd just like to suggest that we add, for future reference, for allowing the city to store storm debris on this property, just so it's clear. It doesn't really tell us there what it was for. Any other changes, corrections? If not,
Motion to approve is amended.
have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. All members voting for the motion. Mr. Cummins is out tonight. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. All members voting for the motion. Under old business, the update on the Etowah River Park, Mr. Beresford.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn. The great news is the project is moving along better than we anticipated because of all the rain and all the problems we had early in the summer. Of course, everybody knows the bridge is in, the ramp is in on the park side, and we will be putting in the ramp on the opposite side. But we were hoping to get the trail, a little bit more information on the trail, but that's got to get started. The pads are down, ready to start putting up that side of the project. We have a fence up now, and the fence is a key element because we have a construction gate that keeps vehicles out, but there's no fencing on either side of the gate. So we've had the more adventurous groups come in with their off-wheelers and stuff and come riding down through the park. There is a concern about damage to the turf that we're putting down. We have the grass is going in. It's currently in front of the amphitheater. The trees and plants that we've got, we lucked out on this because of the positive look at the downturn of the economy. The trees that the tree farms had planted in hopes to move them throughout the years has dropped back. So the size of trees that we had spec'd are much larger because we have trees that they want to get rid of. So we really got some great specimens of trees. We got some that are over 20 foot tall. And it's looking great on that. The grass and the buffer zones are going in. It's being seeded. Green is beginning to show up already. The buffer zones have a tremendous amount of different type plants and trees, but those areas are small little saplings, little seedling type things, and there is a concern about when somebody gets ready to start cutting the grass, they might run over them because they are tiny, but those are out there. The concession stand and restrooms, the walls are going up. They'll be putting a roof on it next week, and insides, once it's weatherproofed outside, inside will be taking care of that. The amphitheater will be shipped either Wednesday of next week or Friday of next week, and it will be on site the first week of December, and assembling of that should take place pretty quickly, and that's really going to create the interest. But again, back to the fence, the posts are up, the rails are up, chain link is going up, and I've got an item that was not on the original quotes and plans or anything else. It's a gate, and we need to have the gate that will shut the people out. We're looking at about $2,400. We do have some money currently left over, but we're going to do a complete audit on it to see exactly how much we have. If I need the $2,400, I will be asking for $2,400 to seal off the property so we can maintain that, and that gate will stay up. I can pass you a picture of what it looked like. And it could be used as a locking system at night, whatever, but it's designed to. We have benches down there. I was concerned about the benches and tables possibly being stolen. I went over to pick one up, and luckily I didn't get too far. I reached down to get a hold of it, and nobody's gonna pick it up. And it's solid. So we have some great equipment there. One other concern, and then I'll shut up for
Go ahead.
time straight. We have these gigantic boulders that are designed for kids to climb on and play on and crawl around on. We had some grandparents brought their grandkids down there, and they were letting them play on it. These things are sitting off to the side. They're not permanently mounted, and it could have been where they had touched it the wrong way, and it could have tipped over and crushed them. We're trying to keep the people out during the day. We continue to have people go down there, and they're walking around in the park. I appreciate it if the press, newspapers would say the park is not open, but let's let the construction, it is not city property yet. It's city, it's controlled by the construction company, and we really need to make sure that that type of activity stays out of the park. I know it's going to get exciting as more things come up. People will see more and more things that show up. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll say this, I've been down there as well, and it really is coming along quite well. It looks good. I think our citizens will be real pleased with it when it's complete. All right, under new business, discussion and possible action on.
Mr. Mayor,
I'm sorry.
did you get to walk on the bridge?
I didn't go that far, no. I did see the ramp, and it looks, it's kind of neat the way it's curved, and you know, it's gonna be real neat. It's gonna be a really nice way to, nice walkway from, Etowah to Heritage Park, no doubt.
It's ADA all the way.
That's right.
He did play on the boulders though, I hope.
Well,
No, it looked good. I did, the siding looked good there. Now, let me ask this question. Did when you drive in, are you gonna be looking at the back of the amphitheater?
Right.
yes.
But it will be open, right? I will.
Yeah, see, there's no real walls on it. There's gonna be 4 columns
Right.
that come down, and it's open, you can see through it. But when you come down Brown Industrial, you're gonna be seeing the back side of
Right,
the
yeah.
shell.
Thank you, that's good. Discussion and possible action on proposed resolution to transfer $300,000 to the general fund reserve account. Councilman Rush.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We've spoken about this over the past couple of years about setting up a reserve, and this is one of the reasons I really got interested in Canton City Council, is that the city at that time, in my estimation, had no reserves. We currently, a couple of years ago, established a general reserve account and put in $250,000 in, a later, I think 79, so we got 300 and some thousand in there now. Every place that I've looked that says good fiscal policy for a city of our size, we should have about 2 months of our general expenditure budget in reserve. And that for us would be about $1.9 million. Now this general fund reserve account is called unfunded, unassigned fund balance. It's called the contingency account. It's called a rainy day fund. I think Governor Deal calls it a rainy day fund. We currently have all 3. Well, we have We have a contingency fund, which we have a couple of $100,000 in, and we generally spend that every year. We have the general fund reserve account, and we have the unassigned fund balance. But if we have, but all that adds up to about $1.1 million, and I think in fiscal 14, we're looking to spend most of it. So that'll put us back down to probably what's in the general fund reserve account. So what I'm suggesting that we put $300,000 in it now, so that we can bring that account up to $600,000. It's still going to keep us, we'll still be fiscally sound. We'll have the money in an account that says don't spend it unless it's an emergency. And if we have that kind of reserve for the city, our bond rating will go up. Well, I can't guarantee it'll go up, but a good reserve account will help us get a better bond rating. So I'm just proposing that we transfer $300,000 into the general fund reserve account. It's in one account, just put it in another one.
Okay.
I'm making a motion.
Motion and second. Any other questions or discussion? If not, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All members voting for the motion. Thank you. Mr. Wood, do you have some?
I could just update on it, Mayor, on just 2 or 3 things real quick, please. Chief of loan documents, we're still working on. You will recall that you approved the contract at the last meeting for award of the construction of the sewer treatment plant, but that was with the proviso or condition that the mayor be satisfied, the mayor and city attorney both be satisfied with respect to the chief of loan document. So we're still working on that. We do expect to present a construction management contract and ask for your approval of that at our next meeting. Etowah Park, to follow up some of Mr. Beresford's comments, we've got 2 quotes. Mr. West has solicited 3 quotes for the design of the trail. This would be the construction plans for the trail, not the layout. That's already well underway, but the construction plans themselves. He's got 2 quotes. A third one was not forthcoming from the third company that he asked for, so he's gone to a different company. So as soon as we can get that third one, we'll bring those to you. The first 2 were very close, I might add. The work on the big room, we're told is on schedule. The mayor and I both were commenting that it looks sort of stagnated, but the contractor assures us at this point that it's on schedule for completion by the end of this year. Marietta Road, I think I mentioned to you at the last meeting that we have received the notice to proceed. We've got some issues because of the time delay from when you awarded the contract to when the DOT gave us the notice to proceed. So we're having to meet with the contractor to work out some of those issues, but we're hoping at this point, fingers crossed, that all that is still on track. Mr. Patton has continued to work to try to get this UDC finished. That's not been an easy task because some of that's been beyond his control, but he's working to get that finished as soon as possible and hopefully to get a draft version to the Citizens Committee that you appointed 2 years ago within the next week or so, and then ultimately, in fact, the mayor and I were talking about this yesterday, ultimately that'll result in or prompt some work sessions by mayor and council early next year. We authorized a technical memorandum from Stantec to identify the issues regarding the Canton Park roundabout, and they're working on that. The on-call services contract will be reviewed by Mr. Dyer and then I think subsequently hopefully signed by the mayor if that's all approved. And then we're in the process now, Donna Bell is working on the schedule for individual department orientations with our newly elected officials to occur as soon in December as is possible. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
I have a comment here that I brought up last week to the city clerk. Today, the city manager gave a report, and it's in the record. Typically, we get a letter, and it's never in the minutes.
Yeah.
And it's never stored with the minutes. It's stored in other places in the city, but my concern is that, and I wanted to see what other council people feel like, I feel that the city manager's report should be on file with the minutes from the meeting, so that we can know what was transpired and what the council was heard from the city manager that influenced the way they voted.
Right. the clerk and I spoke about that this afternoon, and I totally agree with you. I mean, it ought to be a part of the permanent record here. Particularly, well, even the comments that he's made here, but generally he does have a, you know, like a written report and everything, and that too ought to be attached to and included as part of the minutes, in my opinion.
Would it be inappropriate to go back and pick up his letters and attach them to the previous meeting?
Well, I guess we'd have to go back and reapprove all the minutes. I don't know if we would or not. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with putting it in there, actually. I mean, I'd go ahead and, as far as you can and yeah, back and put them, just file them with it, you know. The problem is if we make any changes in the minutes, like say, you know, see the city manager's report included or something, then we're gonna have to re-adopt those minutes, I suspect.
I don't think we want to do that.
I don't think we want to re-adopt the minutes now.
It's all available, I mean, somebody would have to ask for it, but I think you just do it going forward.
Yeah, I think.
But if they don't know it's there, we need to put it there. It doesn't necessarily have to be officially put there, but it's there.
Well, it's available. I
It's
think.
available, yeah.
The city
Yeah.
manager's secretary has a copy, and so does the city clerk. But as of right now, it's in those two places, but never with the minutes. So going forward, I think it should just be with the minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, the only other item that I have is the fact that we do have a runoff election coming up on December the 3rd. Just encourage everyone to get out and vote. We have, early voting is already underway, I think, and it will end probably Wednesday, I guess, is the last day. And then after that, the election will be held the following Tuesday, December the 3rd. So I would encourage everyone to try to get out there and vote. Any other items? Apparently not, so I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?